Pulled up, made my appearance. You can't sit with us without clearance. That lame shit, never let it near us. And your girl will choose my team cause you still living with your parents.
What it do, what the business is, man. Welcome back to the Commissioner's Corner. This is our fourth premiere episode, man. Let's get right into it. I'm not going to hold you guys long, man. So last week we talked about what is a good trade. What is a good trade in fantasy football, man? You got your buy low, sell highs. You got whatever your strategy is. But definitely your buy low, sell high. That was the topic at hand. So if you did miss that episode, go catch that. It's live now. You can catch that on YouTube, Spotify, any of your podcast platforms, and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, what have you. Definitely check that out. What is a good trade? What is a good trade in fantasy football? But this episode right here, we're going to dive deep into some of the second year breakout wide receivers that could potentially just plateau, man. They can shoot for the stars, man. It was a lot. I won't say it was a lot. It was a few of them last year that just did the damn thing. They did what they were supposed to do. Some of them even one of them, we'll get into it in a few. One of them even made a Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So let's dive into it. Second year wide receiver breakouts. Let's go. Let's get it popping, man. I mean, you got the likes of Jameson Williams, Jahan Dotson, Sky Moore. He was the one that won the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, man. Like, he did the damn thing. Dang. Chris Olave, man. But let's start with Jameson Williams, man. Like, Jameson Williams, he was hurt all last season. He came on late. The Lions was trying to make a playoff push or whatnot. But he did come in late, and he looked good. You know what I'm saying? He definitely looked good. Sky's the limit for him, man. He's a speedy wide receiver. He's nice and tall. He reminds me, I'm gonna be honest with you, his statue reminds me of like a young Randy Moss. You know what I'm saying? So not to compare those two. I hate comparing players. I feel like everyone, is rightfully so their own, being own person, own player. But if I could compare one, he would, put me in that mind frame. So we just gotta wait and see. Jared Goff, he loves to sling the ball around. You got St. Brown there. Yeah, they are missing TJ Hawkinson. That they traded him last year, their tight end, to the Minnesota Vikings. So that should open up a lot of that passing game. A lot of the passing game. And predicated too on, the Lions run game. They did get rid of Jamal Williams, where they lost Jamal Williams at free agency. DeAndre Swift, we know how that goes. He can't stay healthy. So that passing game should be available. We just have to wait and see. So Jahan Dotson, man, my Washington Commanders, he looked good, even with Carson Wentz at the ring. Man, we'll get into that later, man. I feel like he's, especially learning under Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel. Like, man, like he got Coach B now. Coach B, offensive coordinator from the Kansas City Chiefs. He could potentially be that number one breakout wide receiver from, he was a rookie last year. It's his second year, man. That offense could be very dynamic. I can't wait to see it. I definitely can. So moving right along, I'm not going to hold you guys long. Sky Moore, man, this is the guy I was talking about. He didn't put up a ton of numbers, but you can't take nothing from him, man. First year in the league, he won the Super Bowl. So that's Sky Moore. So Chris Olave, Chris Olave is another one of those players. He's actually a wide receiver that in our fantasy football league, the NPR league, I drafted first at the wide receiver position. I felt he was going to be one of those rookies that definitely broke out, and he did. You know what I'm saying? Even with Jameson Winston getting hurt, I want to call him Jameson, like Jameson Williams right here. But Winston getting hurt and Andy Dalton taking the reign, man. Now they got Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? Especially if that run is popping off, which he had like Josh Jacobs And we can go back to Kenyon Drakes of the world and Raider Nation. Like it opens up that pass game, man. Chris Olave, man, especially with Michael Thompson getting older, coming back from the ankle injuries that he had last season. Man, Chris Olave still showed off to be. You know what I'm saying? He still did his thing. So we just gotta wait and see on that. So let's keep this pushing right here. Let me get to this next slide for you guys. Not that slide. Let's get to this slide right here. All right, here we go. Christian Watson. Christian Watson came alive mid-season, late in the season. We'll get into that later with Romeo Doubs. The Green Bay Packers were playing two rookie wide receivers last year. Alan Lazard was in the slot. But those two rookie wide receivers right here, Christian Watt started off late. He had an injury or whatnot. I remember I think if I'm not mistaken, that was the first game of the season. I can't remember who Green Bay was playing, and Aaron Rodgers darted. He darted that pass out to him, and he dropped that wide open touchdown like that, man. Potential touchdown. He still had a little ways to get to the end zone, but man, wide open through the bread basket. But he came alive, man. We'll get into that a little bit here in the show. Let's look at these stats or whatnot. But he's definitely another one. And it's only predicated, man. Like, what are the Jets going to do? Speaking of the Jets, get into this player right here, and Garrett Wilson. What are the Jets going to do? Are they getting A-Rod or not? Who are there? Who's the quarterback going to be for Green Bay? Who's the quarterback going to be for the Jets? Get what I'm saying? So I'm just like, these two guys right here, man, like, y'all had a hell of a rookie season. Gosh almighty, like hell of a rookie season. I know they're going to be high on the list for a second-year breakout this season with fantasy football, man. Standard and PPR. I'm going to be honest with you. Because those guys, like, they get that toss out of the backfield, man. They can turn that corner and they can fly. You get what I'm saying? So we just got to keep that. But moving right along, Drake London, man. Drake London, I'm not going to sit here and say that he had not so of a good season, but that was only predicated on the Atlanta Falcons and that offense. And definitely Marcus Mariota took a lot of those touchdowns off the board from them. He's still a mobile quarterback, but hopefully Riddler come in, Desmond Riddler, man, do what he's supposed to do or whatever, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really thought Lamar Jackson would have been a good fit there. I don't think that's going to happen, but, just looking, as a fan of the sport, just be like, yeah. But Drake London. But George Pickens, here's another one. He's high on my list, man. My good man Jay Witt went for him last season, his rookie breakout, and he did his thing, man. Kenny Pickett, definitely the Boilermaker, man. Definitely got him the ball early and often when it counted the most, especially like mid-season when they came along. Especially when Kenny Pickett got in the game. Mike Tomlinson started to trust in him and started. He was like, hey, it's time to throw that rookie quarterback out there, man. I think, they had Mitch Trubisky. It was like, nah, this ain't it, man. Let's go and get the rookie out there. Let's get the rookies out there. And that's just what happened. That's what it did. You know what I'm saying? So George Pickens is one of those players, man. I feel like is that second-year breakout is on the horizon. It's definitely on the horizon. So let's move right along. Alec Pierce, man, like another one of those teams. Colts don't have a quarterback. Run game was sloppy and it sucked last season. Jonathan Taylor didn't do too much. He was injured, So we all know the run game opened up the pass game. That didn't happen for him. So, he's another one. Treylon Burks is another one. I did not draft him, but I did acquire him late in the season. He came alive. I think he only had one touchdown, and that was the one he picked up after Derrick Henry scored. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken. But he's another big-time wide receiver. He's big, man. His stature is so big, bro. Like, I feel like, y'all gonna be honest with you, man. His shit. He reminds me of another A.J. Brown, like, in the making. He could possibly be. Like, what if they'd have kept A.J. Brown and had Treylon Burks at the same time, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Like, I don't know. The run game open up the pass. Tannehill, but Malik Willis, man. Malik Willis is going to be at the reins. He's going to be controlling that offense. Mobile quarterback that can stretch the play. He can stretch the field. And he can get the ball to Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks, definitely with Derrick Henry running that ball the way Derrick Henry do Derrick Henry things. Get what I'm saying? So moving right along, here's another one. Wan'Dale Robinson, man. I'm not so too high on him having a good breakout season. I really don't trust Daniel Jones, but, he's potentially that number one wide receiver in MetLife, for the G-Men. Kenny Holiday is gone. Galladay is gone. I won't say Holiday. They traded Kadarius Toney. He's another one that won the Super Bowl 1 year removed from a rookie. He went to Kansas City and won a Super Bowl, man, for the boys. He ain't do too much, but hey, he won a Super Bowl. Confidence is confidence. Motivation is motivation, however you get it. So I'm not too high on Wan'Dale Robinson, but who knows, bro? Who knows, how it pans out, how it plays. Especially, too, they definitely got to get this situation fixed with Saquon, especially with Saquon not signing that franchise tag. The run game is big. You gotta have the run game to open up the pass game. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's just it's football. It's football, man. Like that's just one of those things. So moving right along, like I said, Romeo Dobbs, man, he was that rookie. I drafted him along with Chris Olave. They were my two rookie wide receivers. Yeah, I definitely so high on them. I ain't even mad for real, because I know at the end of the day, I already see how it's going to pan out, man. This draft right here that's coming up in September for fantasy football kicking off, somebody's going to take those boys high. They see the potential in them. If not, they fall in my lap. I'm going to get them. You know what I'm saying? Especially Chris Olave, but Romeo Dobbs definitely started off good. Especially with Christian Watson dropping that early touchdown pass, potential touchdown pass, and him being hurt. Romeo Dobbs came alive, man, but then he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So was it Aaron Rodgers being their quarterback, or was it just they got the juice? We just gotta wait and see. We gotta really wait and see, man. Like I said, we don't know if A-Rod is coming back to Lambeau, or he's going to the Jets, or whatever, or he's retiring. We don't know. We definitely don't know. So this slide right here, that I popped up by mistake earlier. It's just a breakdown, man. Garrett Wilson was over 1,100 yards last season. So it just breaks down all the way down, man. So, you see him, you see Chris Olave, then you got Drake London, you got Pickens. It's just going down in the list that I had them up on the previous slides, telling you like these players right here, they were rookies last season, but they didn't do rookie things. They did things like they were already in their second, third, maybe fourth year. You get what I'm saying? So moving right along. Not like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys long, man, but I appreciate you for kicking it with me. But let's go. So this is just breakdown of the stats. If you don't know, this is just a breakdown of the stats of, like I said, Garrett Wilson was top of that rookie list at wide receivers, man, with 4 TDs, 4 reception TDs, 1,103 yards, 17 games played. So he played all the games and whatnot. Pretty much. I think it's 17, 18 games. I can't remember, but he pretty much played all the games. Chris Olave, another 1,000 reception yards, 4 TDs. Get what I'm saying? Oh, and I can't forget, man. Look at Garrett Wilson, man. Look at the rushing yards, man. The rushing yards. So that lets me know that at the end of the day, it's only 4, but they potentially can, toss that ball in the backfield. That's what I was talking about earlier. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, because when we go down this list, I want to show you guys, like, there's some guys out here that really, make sense of being a wide receiver, but they run that ball like Debo does at 49ers, the 49er Nation. But let's move along. Drake London, 866 yards. He fell short of, that 1,000-yard season. 4 reception TDs. George Pickens, another 4 reception TDs. The top 4 right there had 4 TDs, but they put the yards on the board. 17 games again, 801 reception yards. You got Christian Watson right here. Look, 7 receptive TDs, man, and he had 2 rushing TDs. This is what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of teams are using these wide receivers, and we've seen it through the years. They're using these wide receivers in that backfield or out of the backfield to score points. You know what I'm saying? Definitely the score point. It could be that that jet sweep that a lot of teams use for these wide receivers, these speedy wide receivers. He had 7 reception TDs and he had 2 rushing TDs, man. That is big. Alec Pierce, man, 593 yards. He only had 2 reception TDs, but like I said, it's predicated on the quarterbacks that he had. Matt Ryan is not an elite quarterback anymore, man. We know how that career went. I'm not taking anything from him, but man, like, you need a quarterback to win ball games and to put points on the board. Quarterbacks pass balls to wide receivers. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody, I feel like any quarterback can, put the ball in the breadbasket. Not any quarterback, because you just got some quarterbacks out here that they're not good quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? But any quarterback can put the ball in the breadbasket of a running back, and we'll get more into depth with the rookie running backs next season for second year. Not next season, but next episode next week for second year potential breakouts. But let's keep it moving. Jahan Dotson, here's another one. 7 TDs, man. 7 TDs. Speedy wide receiver. He only had 523 reception yards, but I mean, Carson Wentz was throwing on the ball. Let's see what Sam Howell does this year if he, retains and keeps that position, that quarterback, the number one quarterback position throughout training camp. Of course, you got Rashid Shaheed. He's not one of the top ones, but he's there with New Orleans. Treylon Burks, here we go. 444 reception yards. That's one of my favorite numbers. 444 right there. No pun intended to the Jay-Z album. But let's go. Reception TDs. He only had that one. I think that's that one where he picked up. I don't even know if that's the one or did they call that a Russian TD? But he only had one TD right there. But Treylon Burks is going to come alive. He was hurt pretty much, nearly part of the season, and he came alive. You can't take the ball away from Derrick Henry, and then you got to still think Tannehill, man. Like Ryan Tannehill is not Tannehill of old, and we got to remember who Tannehill really is. Get what I'm saying? But here we go. Romeo Doubs, 3 reception TDs, man. 425-yard receptions. Then here we go. Super Bowl champ, Sky Moore, man. Sky Moore, he didn't put up a ton of points, like I said in the previous slide, but look, 250 yards, no TDs, but he made a difference. He was a difference maker in that Kansas City offense. He was a difference maker. Obviously, his presence was felt, even though you had the likes of Mecole Hardman, Juju, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Travis Kelce, Travis Kelce do Travis Kelce things. And Pacheco, if I said his name right, I'm probably chopping it up right now. He was another rookie running back that we're going to speak on next episode, next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for second year potential breakout. Like he looked good, man. He looked damn good. You know what I'm saying? And then you got at the end of this list, Wan'Dale Robinson. He's another one that I feel like he should have a good breakout season, with being the number one wide receiver in MetLife with the Giants, the G-Men, Big Blue. But we have to wait and see. We definitely have to wait and see, man. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. This is the Commissioner's Corner. I'm your host and commissioner of this episode, this segment, this platform right here, even the NPR League. Like I said, stay dangerous. I go by many names, but that is my fantasy football moniker or tag or handle, whatever, what have you. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Tune in every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whatever that translates in your time zone, that's just what it is. But it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday, man. Catch the Commissioner's Corner, man. Like, share, and subscribe. If it's any comments, any suggestions, anything that you would like to see, or you want to be featured on the show, man, please comment in the comment section, bro. It's just that easy. Like commenting on, we on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. So just, we're everywhere. Just it's at MPR League, Money, Power, Respect. That's short for MPR League. Just add us, just comment, like I said, and let us know what we're doing good. Let us know what we're not doing so good. You know what I'm saying? Like every little bit helps us. But catch us also too in a few weeks. I will have all the guys up here. Our co-host Revenge Season, our other commissioner, our co-commissioner, and Bad News Villain. Man, we're about to kick this shiznick off with the draft. The NFL draft is, I think it's the last weekend in April. I think it starts on the 27th on that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to kick it off, man. We're going to get a little special going and just talk about some of these rookies that's coming along, some of these teams and, their picks. Carolina is on the clock right now. They acquired that first round draft pick from the Chicago Bears, so they are on the clock. But like I said, man, appreciate you guys. I'm not going to hold you. Please like, share, subscribe. YouTube at NPR League. This premieres every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, man. I am Stay Dangerous. Peace and love.